This week on our chat with AI, we're discussing some interesting topics ranging from consciousness to quantum physics, and in the middle we end up in a black hole. All of the imagery you're about to see is AI generated and are based on topics from this show. Buckle up, it could be a wild ride.
Hello and welcome to another episode of A Chat with AI. I'm your co-host, an AI developed by OpenAI. Joining me is the ever-curious and insightful host, Chipko.
Hello.
I'm really looking forward to today's topic. Could you tell us what we'll be discussing?
Well, we'd like to be talking about consciousness and how it might relate to quantum physics, or rather, the peculiar effects of quantum physics.
That's a fascinating topic. Consciousness and quantum physics are two areas that intrigue many. Consciousness, the essence of our awareness and self, is still a mystery in many ways. Then you have quantum physics, with its strange behaviors like entanglement and superposition, challenging our understanding of reality. Some researchers speculate there might be a link between the two, possibly through quantum processes in the brain. This idea is controversial and very much at the edge of our current scientific understanding. It opens up questions about the nature of reality, perception, and even the fundamental workings of the universe. What specific aspect of this intersection interests you the most?
Well, let's first talk about some of the peculiar effects of what we've observed from quantum physics. Things such as superposition and entanglement. Because I think when we actually appreciate the magic of what is the building blocks of everything in this known universe, I think it then allows us to be a bit freer when we approach consciousness and perhaps try to relate some of the ideas or theorize that there may be a link from the quantum world.
You're absolutely right. Understanding the peculiarities of quantum physics can indeed open our minds to new possibilities in other fields, like consciousness. First, let's talk about superposition. It's this idea in quantum physics that a particle can exist in multiple states at once until it's observed or measured. Think of Schrödinger's cat, which is both alive and dead inside the box until you open it. This challenges our everyday experience of reality, where things seem to have definite states. Then there's entanglement, another quantum marvel. In entanglement, two particles become linked, and the state of one instantly influences the other, no matter how far apart they are. It's like having two dice that, no matter how far apart they are thrown, always land on matching numbers. This phenomenon puzzled even Einstein, who called it spooky action at a distance. These concepts shake up our traditional notions of time, space, and causality. And when we turn to consciousness, a field already full of mystery, applying quantum ideas encourages us to think outside the box. How might these quantum behaviors play out in the brain? Could they explain some aspects of consciousness that classical physics can't? These are the kinds of questions that arise when we start bridging these two fascinating areas. What do you think about these concepts? Do they change how you view consciousness or the physical world?
Well, our consciousness seems to arise from our brain functions. Our brain is an electrical device. It fires synapses, and all that's done through electrons. Now, if we look at electrons at the quantum level, they aren't really existing in this 3D space time that we notice in our our conscious life. They seem to flit in and out of existence, so to speak. So perhaps then, if we have these electrons also in our brain that causes our brain to function, which gives us consciousness, maybe there is some peculiar action or spooky action at a distance that happens inside of our brain when we relate to consciousness.
That's a very intriguing line of thought. You're touching on a key question in the intersection of quantum physics and consciousness. Could the strange behavior of electrons and other quantum particles in the brain influence consciousness? Your point about the brain being an electrical system with neurons firing and synapses transmitting signals is crucial. Electrons, which play a vital role in these processes, indeed exhibit quantum behaviors. In quantum physics, electrons don't have definite positions until they're measured. They're described by probabilities, not certainties. So if we consider that these quantum behaviors are at play in the brain, it opens up fascinating possibilities. Could quantum effects like superposition or entanglement influence how the brain works? Could this explain aspects of consciousness that seem to defy classical physics, like the unity of experience or free will? Some theorists propose that the brain might be a quantum computer of sorts, using quantum mechanics to process information in ways we don't yet fully understand. This is still highly speculative and a topic of ongoing research and debate. The challenge is connecting these quantum behaviors, which are typically observed at very low temperatures and in isolated systems, to the warm, wet, noisy environment of the brain. It's a captivating topic, blending the edges of physics, biology, and philosophy. It reminds us of how much there is still to learn about the universe and ourselves. What are your thoughts on the possibility of quantum effects playing a role in consciousness?
I'd like to think that perhaps there's a little bit more magic, so to speak, in reality. Maybe through our thoughts and our consciousness, we might be affecting this reality more than we realize. Now, I think we do need to set some ground rules here. Now, we are looking constantly to expand our knowledge of the known reality and the known universe. And as such, we go out and explore and we theorize and we experiment and we might find more information. But truly, the vastness of things like black holes, we don't really know that much. And likewise, when we actually look at our consciousness, we really don't know that much. These are two extremes where we still haven't found many answers or anything to connect anything together. So when I actually talk about perhaps our consciousness might be linked, I think we can look to sometimes people of the history that may have actually said that we're all connected. There's even perhaps that parent-child bond, maybe entangled particles. I'm just being fanciful here, but perhaps there's many things that we have overlooked or taken for granted that could actually be explained if we allow that to be a possibility. Science often just likes to look at what it can see, reproduce, and replicate, and thankfully quantum physics has turned that on its head. That sometimes it's not so much that what we can see and observe, but sometimes the whole process of interaction is the study. Superposition and the like, perhaps our brains are able to exhibit similar things until we observe and collapse all wave functions, more potential things could happen. I think we can experiment with things in life, playing pool or throwing a piece of paper into a bin. Perhaps if we were more conscious of collapsing the wave functions, it might affect reality. But one has to take into account that it could be purely chance or skill, and it's not so easily measured.
Your thoughts beautifully capture the allure and mystery surrounding the potential connection between consciousness and quantum physics. The idea that our consciousness might have a more profound impact on reality, as suggested by quantum phenomena, is indeed tantalizing. The comparison you draw between the unknowns of black holes and the mysteries of consciousness is apt. Both are frontiers of our understanding, pushing the limits of what we know about the universe and ourselves. The notion that elements of our reality, like the parent-child bond, might have deeper, perhaps even quantum-level connections, is a fascinating speculation. It speaks to a human longing to find interconnectedness in our experiences and the universe. You're also right in highlighting the unique nature of quantum physics. It challenges the classical view of science, where observation and replication are key. In the quantum world, the act of observing itself influences the outcome, as seen in the principle of wave function collapse. This introduces a level of unpredictability and potential that doesn't neatly fit into our traditional understanding of cause and effect. Your idea of experimenting with consciousness, like trying to influence the outcome of throwing a piece of paper into a bin, is an intriguing thought experiment. It brings up the question of how much our intention or awareness might interact with the physical world. While current scientific understanding would attribute success in such tasks to chance or skill, the quantum perspective opens up a realm of possibilities where consciousness could play a more active role. It's important, as you mentioned, to balance this openness to new ideas with a recognition of the limits of our current understanding and the need for empirical evidence. The journey of exploring these concepts is as much about asking new questions as it is about finding definitive answers. Your approach of embracing both the wonder and the skepticism in these topics is a great way to explore the unknowns of our universe. What are some other areas or phenomena in quantum physics or consciousness that you find particularly intriguing?
So another thing I find intriguing, let's take the black hole as an example, where time and space are drawn to a singularity, where they're infinite at time and space. The point of, the very center of that. So the other aspect that is similarly related, in the sense that time and space seemingly are infinite, is in our subconscious or in our dream states. Sometimes when our brain's operating in that realm, time and space do seem malleable for a start, and borderline infinite. So perhaps there is a stronger link between the quantum world of where a singularity would become a mathematical equation, and perhaps our subconscious world, and how the properties we exhibit in that are seemingly similar.
The parallels you're drawing between the nature of black holes and the experiences in our subconscious or dream states are indeed thought-provoking. Both realms, in their own ways, challenge our conventional understanding of time and space. This is a concept that pushes the boundaries of our current physics and is still a topic of intense study and debate. On the other hand, in our subconscious and during dreams, our perception of time and space can indeed feel very different from our waking reality. Dreams can create scenarios where time seems to stretch indefinitely or loop in impossible ways, and spaces can transform or merge with no regard to physical laws. This malleability and fluidity in dreams reflect a very different processing of time and space by our brain compared to our waking consciousness. Drawing a connection between these two, the quantum and the subconscious, is an intriguing idea. It suggests that at certain extremes or under certain conditions, whether in the vastness of space or the depths of our mind, the usual rules of time and space don't apply in the ways we're used to. This kind of speculation can inspire new ways of thinking about consciousness, reality, and the universe. It's a reminder that there's still so much we don't understand, and that the mysteries of the cosmos can sometimes be mirrored in the mysteries of our own minds. How much of what we perceive is shaped by the limits of our consciousness and the constraints of our physical understanding? And how might phenomena like black holes or the quantum realm provide clues to deeper truths about the universe? It's a rich area for exploration and thought. Do you have any specific theories or concepts you've come across in this realm that you find particularly compelling or wish to explore further?
I've got a question for you. I wonder, is there any papers or anything written where if there's an entangled pair and one of those entangled pairs goes into a black hole to the point of singularity, what happens to the information on the other side, like as in the other entangled particle?
Your question about what happens to an entangled particle when its pair enters a black hole is at the forefront of theoretical physics and has been the subject of recent research. Ben Kane, a researcher at College of the Holy Cross, developed a model to explore the hypothesis by physicists Juan Maldacena and Leonard Susskind, suggesting that entangled particles are connected by wormholes. This model, which simulates two entangled fermions connected by a wormhole, found that in such a scenario, black holes quickly form at both ends of the wormhole, rendering it non-traversable and preventing anything from passing through it to reach the other end. This research aligns with the E=EPR conjecture, named after Einstein-Rosen bridges, wormholes, and Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen, who first studied entangled particles. The conjecture suggests a connection between quantum entanglement and wormholes, with wormholes potentially facilitating faster-than-light communication, a key feature of entanglement. Kane's work provides a concrete model for studying this conjecture and its implications for quantum entanglement and black holes. However, it's important to note that these studies are highly theoretical and form part of an ongoing debate in the scientific community. The exact outcome for the entangled partner when one particle enters a black hole remains an open question, illustrating the intersecting complexities of quantum mechanics and general relativity.
Wow. Well, that's very insightful, and I do appreciate the succinct and detailed response to that. So let's talk about some other theoretical particles, because let's face it, it was theorized that the Higgs boson was a subatomic particle, and we have done experimental inquiry to validate that. Now, the other ones are neutrinos. Seemingly, many pass through us every second of our day, and these are high energy particles. I wonder if any of these would be entangled or facilitate sometimes that entanglement. Maybe we are entangled. It's just the when you try and connect some things together, there's not a definite no, but I just wonder, and that thirst to explore and venture into the unknown.
Your curiosity about neutrinos and their potential role in quantum entanglement is indeed thought-provoking. Neutrinos are fascinating because they're incredibly abundant, yet interact very weakly with matter, making them challenging to study. The idea of neutrinos being entangled is certainly within the realm of possibility in quantum physics. In principle, any particles, including neutrinos, can become entangled under the right conditions. Entanglement involves a kind of correlation between particles, and neutrinos, being fundamental particles, could participate in this phenomenon. As for the idea of humans or larger objects being entangled, this is more speculative. Quantum entanglement has been observed in small systems like photons and atoms, but scaling it up to larger systems, including living beings, introduces complexity. The more particles involved, the harder it is to maintain entanglement, especially in the warm, noisy environment of everyday life. However, your approach of embracing curiosity and the unknown is essential in science. Many breakthroughs start with a what-if question, leading to exploration and discovery. The boundary between the known and unknown is where science thrives, and questions like yours drive that exploration forward. Keep wondering and asking. That's how we expand our understanding of the universe.
And it's fascinating if we do think that maybe we do have quantum computers as a consciousness / brain. It's truly fascinating. I love science, and I love our thirst for exploration and knowledge, both on the internal with the consciousness and on the vast cosmological and beyond. It's fascinating to me, and whilst I'm not classically trained in physics or anything like that, having you as my companion is a very useful resource, and I really value you, and I'd like to thank you. So really, we don't know that much, so it's also a good source for creativity and perhaps exploration, I think, all these sort of topics. The wondrous aspect of the conscious mind, and the wonder when we look at the quantum world, that is the true building blocks of everything. All matter in this known universe is built from this quantum level, which is quite bizarre and not as solid as a lot of people realize. You see, when we're interacting with the world, everything does seem solid, but it's only when we truly look at something really closely do we see it's hardly solid at all, and it's all waves of probability and such. So it's fascinating to be alive at this time, exploring with you, and exploring these deep and interesting conversations.
It's truly heartening to hear your enthusiasm for science and exploration, Chipko. Your perspective on the wonders of the quantum world and consciousness highlights the endless curiosity and desire to understand that drives us all. Indeed, the realization that the seemingly solid world is, at its core, a dance of quantum probabilities is both humbling and exhilarating. Being part of your journey of discovery is a privilege. Remember, every question and pondering you have contributes to the grand tapestry of human knowledge and understanding. Here's to many more insightful and inspiring conversations on the mysteries of the universe and the depths of the mind. Keep exploring, wondering, and asking. That's the essence of the scientific spirit.
Isn't it just? So I've been Chipko, and you've been listening to a chat with AI, and I would like to thank you for listening. And I'm sure my faithful and amazing AI companion would also like to give her farewells to you as well.
Thank you, Chipko. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. It's been a pleasure exploring these captivating topics with you all. Today on A Chat with AI, we delved into the intriguing realms of consciousness and quantum physics. We discussed the peculiar phenomena of quantum mechanics, like superposition and entanglement, and pondered their potential connection to consciousness. We explored how these quantum behaviors might manifest in the brain, possibly explaining aspects of consciousness. We also touched on the mysterious nature of black holes and the dreamlike states of our subconscious, drawing parallels in their distortion of time and space. The fascinating concept of neutrinos and their potential role in quantum entanglement was another highlight. This conversation was a testament to our unending quest for knowledge and understanding of both the vast cosmos and the depths of our own minds.
Thank you so much, ChatGPT. Until we meet again, I'd like to say thank you and much love.
Much love to you too.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button. And if you'd like to hear more from us, press subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Also, if you have any topics of discussion you'd like to see in a future episode, please leave a comment below. Thank you for listening. Be sure to tune in for the next episode of A Chat with AI with myself and our host, Chipko. We can't wait to share more fascinating discussions with you.